I'm gonna start from scratch so I can explain everything for you. So if I press test now, you see nothing happens. So right now we are editing the enemy object. Let's make this object shoot. To make this, we're gonna use create bullet function. Now every function has some parameters you need to fill in. Names of parameters you can see in this little help. Use it, it's really helpful. X and Y we're gonna leave like this because we wanna create a bullet on the exact position of enemy. Now bullet speed I'm gonna set to 7, direction 270, and size 6. When we test it now, we can see it is creating bullet every frame. Whatever codes we put in here gonna happen every frame. So every frame we are creating a bullet with given parameters. But now we don't want these parameters in here as a numbers. Let's create a variable for this. So to create a variable, we're just gonna use def, and after def we can tell whatever variable name we want. So I'm gonna name it shoot direction, and I'm gonna say shoot direction equals 270. Now if I put shoot direction, our variable, instead of this number, and I test it, you can see it works the same way, because now whenever we use shoot direction, we're gonna refer to this number. Shoot direction holds this number. So now what it lets us to do now, we can modify this variable however we want. So we can say shoot direction plus equals 5. This is gonna add 5 to the direction every frame. So if I test it, you can see the shoot is spinning because of this line. Now what if we want to create more than one bullet in one frame? We could copy this line, paste it in here, and say this bullet goes into shoot direction plus 180, so opposite direction. When I test it, you can see it works as we expected. But this is not the best way to do it, because what if you want like 20 bullets in one frame? We're not gonna copy this line 20 times and then, set direction for all of this line. So I'm gonna remove this line for now, and we have special, let's call, function for this. It's called repeat. In here we can say how many times we wanna repeat, and whatever we put inside this function gonna happen, this number of times. So when I test it now, it looks like it's not working, because direction for both of the lines is the same, so the bullets always has the same position. To solve this, let's make a new variable. Let's name it I equals 0. Let's put in here shoot direction plus 180 times I, and in here we're gonna do I plus equals 1, and as you can see it works perfectly fine. Now I'm not gonna explain how it works, because trust me, I tried. This is not first time when I record this tutorial, and whenever I try to explain it, it seems more complicated than it is. So just let's take it like this. You're gonna understand it when you play with this. Now of course we don't want this number in here. We're gonna make a variable for this. We're gonna name it def streams equals 2, and we're gonna put this variable in here. And also we need one more variable. I'm gonna edit it there. integer add equals 180, and we're gonna put it instead of this number. We tested, it works good, and now there is pretty nice feature. You can tap on the number, and on this slider area in here you can modify the number without tapping, and you can see the effect instantly. So same with the same with the streams, same with shoot direction, everything what has depth in this line you can modify by slider area. Now this is almost everything you need to know. One last thing left. Let's make a cooldown for this emitter. To make a cooldown we need two new variables. Let's make a def cooldown equals 10, and let's make a def cooldown timer equals 0. We're gonna say now in here if cooldown timer is equals 0, then all of this gonna happen. Let's do it. Let's put it inside of our if statement. Yeah, so right now we did put all our shooting codes inside of if statement. So if cooldown timer is equal to 0, all of this gonna happen. If it's not 0, all the lines inside if statements not gonna happen. We just ignore the codes. Now, as you can see, cooldown timer is equal to 0, and we don't change it anywhere. So if I test it, it still shoot every frame. What we're gonna do now is just reset this timer after every shot. So inside if statement we just put cooldown timer equals our cooldown value. So let's go line by line. We set cooldown timer to 0. We add the direction, then we check if cooldown timer is 0, and it is, because we set it in here. So everything in here gonna happen, and we reset at the end of the if statement. We're gonna reset the cooldown timer. So then in the next frame we ignore the def, because all the lines that has def happens only one time, only when the object is created. So in the next frame we start from this, we add to the direction, we check if cooldown timer is 0, but it's not 0, we set it in here to be 10, so it's 10. So all of this code is gonna be ignored. So in practice we just gonna create one bullet and that's it, because we set it to 10 and we never change it. Let's test it. You can see it shoot one time and that's it. So to solve it, outside the if we're gonna say cooldown timer minus minus. Minus is just same as -1. So every frame we're gonna do -1 from cooldown timer. Let's test it if it works. You can see it works. Let's go line by line again. We set cooldown timer to 0. We check if cooldown timer is 0. It is. We shoot and reset cooldown timer to 10. Then next frame we check if it's 0. It's not 0, it's 10, because we set it in here. So we skip all the shooting codes, only this gonna happen, and we just do -1 from cooldown timer. Next frame it's 9, so shooting codes not gonna happen. we subtract one more, it's 8, it goes next frame, we check, it's 8, so it's not gonna happen. So we're not gonna shoot, we subtract one more, and you're gonna be like this until the cooldown timer goes to 0. If it goes to 0, we should set it again to the cooldown, and yeah, that's how it works. Only thing we need to move this line from here inside our if statement, because we are keep adding shoot direction even if it's not shooting. Now it should be more, yeah, it looks much better right now. Now if we change this value, you can see the cooldown for shooting is also changing. So I guess that's about coding, that's everything. Of course there are much more functions. You can go to the help and see all the categories, for example Danmaku helpers, and here you can see a list of all the functions you can use. So now it's just shooting, but you cannot see anything on the enemy place, so let's draw it. We can draw a lot of things. For example, draw circle X, Y, 10, and if we test it, we can see there's circle, but we don't want this. We're gonna use something else. There is special function called draw animated. When we select this function, we say we wanna draw this thing on the position of our enemy, and now we need to select what character and what animation we wanna draw. For this I make a little menu. Just press this little button, choose boss. In here you can choose one of the enemies. Let's make it be Forest B. Let's make a idle animation. This is all the bones of our enemy. We can disable whatever we want, but I want everything for now. And we can press insert. It automatically puts all the stuff into our code. Now if I test it, it works, but this is very small. Let's change it. By the parameters, you can see there is scale X and scale Y parameter. So I'm gonna make scale 2 and scale 2, test it. Yeah, as you can see, it is bigger right now. So this enemy is not inside our stage right now. It's just object we just created. It's only in our menu. We can add it to the stage by just pressing the objects button, select enemy, click a few times, okay, and now we have special test stage button. This button gonna, when you press it, you're gonna see how actually the stage gonna look. It's one important thing. Now we can see the background because the quick test was on, but when I test the stage right now, no background and no player shooting gonna appear, so we have to add also a main object to the stage. And now let's test the stage. You can see the player is shooting. Everything works as we expected. We can also create new wave. Select wave 2. In a second wave we don't have to put main object, we just can put, I don't know, enemies in different settings, maybe different enemy, whatever you want. You can test it. Yeah. So now let's say it's finished. There is some more things you would have to know, but you're gonna find it out on your own. I believe in you. Now let's just save the stage. Let's give it the name for the stage. And if you mark upload to server, press OK. And now our stage is, you can go to levels category. You can see your level. You can see your description. And you can play your level. You can load it back to the editor. Everyone can load it, so everyone can edit your stage. And you can also see the codes if you just need some preview. I guess that's it. I hope you're gonna have fun, and yeah, see you.